Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a highly requested video. So I recently got this bad boy in the mail. This was sent to me by Anastasia Beverly Hills' brand. They did send me the Subculture palette, but that does not mean that I'm not going to be honest and 100% truthful no matter what. I get sent tons of products from tons of different brands, and I always stay honest no matter what, and that's not changing for any brand. So today's video is going to be a review and demo using the new Subculture palette. This has been in a lot of controversy recently, like saying that it's like really powdery and that's not blendable and things like that. I have used it one time, but I only used about 3 shades to do one look, and it was just a quick 1-2, and the shadows worked fine for me. I only used 3, so. But today's video is going to go a little bit more in depth, and I'm going to put some of the more bold colors on my eyes today to see how they work and how they blend with the other colors in the palette. As always, if you guys don't like this video, if you guys do not like me, please don't fucking watch it. You know the drill with that. But if you guys do like this video, please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And if you're new, what's up? I'm MannyMua, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, let's go and get into this review and demo using this new Subculture palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So a little bit about the palette. This retails for $42 on Anastasia's website. There's 14 shades in here. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mattes in here, which means there's only 3 foiled / shimmer shades. Wow, that's hard to fucking say. As you can see, I used this color, and done. I'm gonna try to do a different look just so I can use as many different shades on my eye as possible so you guys can see what they look like or how they act. So we're gonna take the shade Dawn. As you guys can see, as I'm pressing into it, there is tons and tons and tons of fallout. There's no denying it. There's definitely a lot of fallout. We're gonna mix it a little bit in with the shade Mercury, which is a little bit more of a whoa. Do you guys see that? Fuck. It's a lot of powder. There's a lot of powder going on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this into on a MORPHE M533, which is a blending fluffy brush. Okay. This palette is extremely pigmented. Holy shit. First of all, I didn't actually expect Mercury to be this dark for looking at it on the pan. It looks like a very, very light transitioning gray, and here it looks like dark as fuck. Okay, don't know why. What do y'all think? I definitely think they went on a little bit darker than I was expecting, for sure. Let's go ahead and take the shade Axis right here. We're gonna take the shade Axis. We're gonna put it on the lid, on the outer lid. Holy shit, these are really pigmented. Holy shit. I'm going to take a little bit on the inner corner as well. So the shade Axis is extremely, extremely pigmented. A little bit of product goes a very, very long way. This one I feel like is one of those shades that's a little bit too pigmented, where it's like, oh fuck, if you mess up a little bit, it can like go awry very, very quickly. So be cautious of that. So this color is actually a little bit harder to blend out than the last shades have been. It's a little bit more of a, you really need to sit and work with it. You need to really work on it. Now I'm going to take the shade Destiny right here. It's a very pretty military green shade. And I'm going to lightly, softly press that with that same M433 in the center. As I get towards the center right here. Ombre that in. So if you guys were to get this palette, I just think that the blend is a little bit tougher to do than other palettes that I have. Yeah, because I'm really working here on blending this out, and I'm not really getting too far with it. Yeah. Okay, so this is what we have so far. As you can see, the blend is not as seamless as I usually like it. I think it's a little bit more patchy. Kind of annoys me. Now I'm gonna take the shade All Star. Holy fuck, this one is extremely I literally just pressed it twice. Oh my god. Oh my god. And I'm gonna take that on a MORPHE M167, a great packing brush. I'm gonna pack that onto the center of the lid. I'm really just playing with as many colors as I can because I really want to be able to have a nice definitive thought on this palette. So I'm using as many as I can. I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, Manny, what in the fuck are you doing with this eye? I'm like, you know, I'm just kind of playing around. I'm just doing my thing. I'm going to take that into the crease, blend into the crease. This is a little weird because I feel like when I'm blending this All-Star shade, it's kind of blending into nothing. I just feel like it's not as pigmented as it once was when I put it down. So I'm gonna add a little bit more in the center. It's just not as easy, the palette, to blend as I thought it was going to be. I feel like my crease is starting to look a little bit muddy. The colors are starting to blend together a little bit in a weird way. They're not like sticking to my eye specifically. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I feel like this look is like a look I could have easily accomplished and like with no problem and have a nice seamless blend. But I have to really work on this blend, so that's kind of weird. I'm gonna take a little bit of that shade Adorn, and I'm gonna put that on the center of my lid. Just on the really center point. Okay, guys, so now I'm gonna take a little bit of a pencil brush, and I'm gonna take these two yellowy type shades, the shade Edge and New Wave, and I'm gonna go ahead and run that underneath my lash line. Really dust off as much product as you guys possibly can. I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade Roxy. I'm gonna put that into the crease right here. Maybe that'll help warm up the crease, make it not look as like blotchy and weird. This is also a very powdery shade. And now I'm gonna take the shade Rowdy, which is like a really pretty dark plumish, really deep cool tone purple. And I'm gonna put that on the lash line down here. Ooh, a little. Let's go ahead and blend out that shade. You guys, I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit more quiet in today's video. I just feel like whenever I'm doing a look like this or something that I need to really concentrate on, I get a lot more quiet because I'm like, wait, fuck. I need to really focus on the look. You know what I'm saying? Which kind of sucks. I feel like with this palette, yeah, I think that the look turned out to be pretty cool, but I had to really work on it. Like, a lot. Like, really a lot. We're going to take the shade Electric, which is like a really intense, weird like yellow green. I'm gonna go and swatch it right here. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like right here on the inner corner on this brush. It gives you like a very subtle, almost like UV glow. That's kind of a cool shade. That's very different. I've never seen a shade like this. So this shade is actually taking a lot more building than I thought. Like the other ones were so pigmented where I was like shook. This one you need a lot more to actually build onto it. Let's take that shade Cube and be done with it. We're going to take that on the brow bone. This is a white with a pink reflect. It's basically pink. Like when it goes on the skin, it's pink. It's not like white at all. As you guys can see, there's like a pink reflect on my brow bone. This one is another shade that takes a little bit more of a building to it. Okay, guys, so this is it. This is the look I ended up coming up with using the Subculture palette. I think it's really cool, fun, different look for me. I don't really do too many looks like this. I just feel like this palette wasn't the easiest palette to blend out that I have. I think that I have other palettes that blend out a lot easier than this. I think the fact that they're so powdery doesn't really allow it to stick to the skin as much. I don't know if that makes sense. And when I say powdery, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So for example, let's take the shade Dawn, right? I'm gonna take a little fluffy brush. You just kind of do this. And I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but a lot of product gets picked up, and I think that's kind of odd. So like Roxy, for example, same thing. Same exact concept with Roxy as well. Usually I'm obsessed with the Anastasia palettes. I think that they do beautiful palettes and I love their color schemes. For example, the Modern Renaissance is like one of my favorite palettes of all time. This has gotten some usage. As you can see, it's so tore up because I use it so fucking often. And these shades are very powdery too. Do not get me wrong. These shades, woo, child. Powder. But for some reason, I feel like the Modern Renaissance palette, the shades, blend easier than the Subculture palette shades do. And they're a little bit more true to color. I feel like these shades are much more like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to get as soon as I put it on my eye. That's the color. The Subculture one, I just felt like they look a little bit different on the eye than they do in the pan. Kind of weird. I wasn't really expecting that, but that's totally what happened. All in all, what do I think of the palettes? I think that for $42 for 14 shades, I think that's a great price point. However, I think that this palette for me is more of a miss. I just really don't think that it's the most practical, and I feel like if you're more of a beginner at makeup, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to use. I really do. I don't think it's gonna be the easiest. Like, let's just do a quick little eye look with the Subculture. It's not as easy to use. It's much more work. I would say for me personally, I probably will not be reaching for this palette again because of the fact that it is a little bit harder to use. For example, I can take Jeffree's Androgyny palette. Technically, this palette has shades that are similar to Jeffree's palette because his was out first, but I feel like those shadows blend easier and they're just as pigmented, just as nice, just the blend is a lot easier and they're not as powdery. So I just don't think I'll really be reaching for this palette very often. So for me, it was a miss. It's not a hit, but like I say in all my videos, no brand ever comes out with things that I'm going to love 100% of the time. There's always going to be things that I'm obsessed with, like the Modern Renaissance, and there's things that I'm not going to be obsessed with, like the Subculture palette from Anastasia. So I think that Anastasia's brand in general is absolutely beautiful. It's amazing. They've fucking killed it in the beauty world, and I really do think that their brand is like one of the forefront beauty brands of all beauty brands. I think theirs is like one to look at, like, wow, people are excited about Anastasia's brand, which is why which is why I even wanted to film this. Like, I was excited about this palette, and I was excited to film this. But yeah, you guys, that's it for today's video. As always, have a great rest of the night or day wherever you guys are, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye, you guys. Mwah. Can y'all hear me? You guys, this foundation oxidized so intensely. Jesus. It went on like my color, and then it turned orange. Whatever. Oh God, we are close. Sweetness. This look is really cute if it was blended better. Okay, bitch, you did that. You fucking did that. P.S. I have a really intense pimple right there. It's hella swollen. It's internal. I'll see you later. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.